Good evening, all my friends on YouTube. Welcome to another interview. In a moment, I will get to my guests, but first, just a few housekeeping rules. If you are going to be a part of the live, feel free to drop in any of your questions. This live will be lasting for approximately 1 hour. If you have questions for myself, you can put Q and then the letter D along with your question. And if you have questions for Miss Lynn, you can put Q and the letter L. And now I'd like to introduce my guest. This is one of my new best friends. She is also a radio, how would you say that, Miss Lynn? A radio personality?
Correspondent, yeah.
Radio correspondent.
Yeah.
She is also an author of Our Southern Souls, which I have been lucky to be a part of.
You are page number one, the first story out the gate.
And I really appreciate that. As we are live now, people may come in, so I may have to reset the room. So just a heads up for you, Miss Lynn.
That's fine.
And if you have any questions, like I say, please let us know. But I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that we pre-set up.
Okay.
So the first question is, what inspired you to start writing the Our Southern Souls books?
Yeah. So I knew since I was a kid that I wanted to be a writer and avoided it for most of my life because I didn't want to suck at it. And started a magazine called The Southern Rambler to write about art and music. And I was, I think, in my 40s and starting that. And met a photographer who covered the homeless. And that was very new to me and things I didn't think about. So we wanted to do a project together. So we started riding the buses in Mobile, getting to know some of the bus riders and the people who are taking the buses to go to chemo and to go to their jobs and to school. And they changed my life, just sitting there listening to these such real stories and things that were, out off my radar. And they were so kind, and they just wanted to know their story mattered. It didn't matter who I was. It was just that I was there listening. And I wrote the story about it. And then my husband, I didn't want to go back to whatever it was I was doing. And my husband gave me the book, Humans of New York, and where Brandon Stanton walks the streets of New York. And he said, you need to do this in the South. And my husband is always very wise and very right. And so I did. I flat out stole the idea from Humans of New York. And it will be 9 years in December that I've been doing it. 2,000 interviews, 2 books. It's completely changed my life. I get to meet people like you, Dalton. And, yeah, so it's every day the news is crazy, the world is crazy, but on the ground there's people out there like you who show what's possible and make this life a lot more bearable.
I appreciate that. Real quick before I go to the next one, I'm going to make sure that we are actually live.
We're gonna have to back it up and do it all over again.
Yeah, it looks like we're live. So
okay.
So that is really awesome. So just by going and being able to meet people, and just pretty much change you, that is like truly amazing.
Well, it's the people all around us. I mean, how many lives have you touched by just being kind and they're greeting people at the movie theater? I know how many because I saw all the comments on your story. And it makes a difference when you approach people with love and you see them like you do with greeting guests coming in. It makes people feel better. You want to be seen and know your life matters.
Yes, ma'am. My second question is, what was the hardest part of writing the book?
So the interviews are great fun. Taking the pictures is great fun. I would do that all day long. The hardest part is sitting down and transcribing the stories. Today I did 2 interviews, both of them probably at least an hour. Some of them go 2 hours. So transcribing and putting it all together into a narrative that makes sense is the writing is by far the hardest part. And then by the time you get into the book and trying to cut it all down, and then I learned how to use Lightroom and Photoshop for the photography this time. So all that was a big learning curve. Yeah, the book took a solid year of working on it.
So you're telling us that there could be a third book in the works?
Dalton, I'm not saying that. I don't know. I don't know how to do this one better, and I can't keep up the same pace that I've been doing it. So I don't know. Who knows? Not sure where it goes. I will always have goals just because it's the best thing in the world, but I don't know more books.
I just was trying to.
Yes, thank you.
That way, if people were going to be asking, that would probably be one way to shut them down.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. That is not the plan right now. I'm still tired from this one.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
What do you hope readers will take away from your books?
That these are the people all around us. I didn't go to some special person, place, and find Dalton and everybody else. I mean, these are the people all around us. They're the people that you bump into at the grocery store. They're the people who hand you your milkshake at Chick-fil-A. It's the people at the park. I mean, and there's so much to learn from strangers. I think we compartmentalize and think that they're going to reject us. But it's just as simple as approaching somebody with love and warmth and expecting the best out of them. And then they kind of meet you in the middle like that. Yeah, but people rarely say, no, I don't want to do this. So, but yeah, I mean, just these are the people all around us, and I can never guess their stories, not ever. I've been doing this years and thousands of times, and you can't guess anybody's story and what they've been through.
Okay, what I'd like to do, if that's okay with you, kind of shift gears for a bit. Sure. I'm going to get back to the questions, but if it's okay with you, I'd like to read the little part you did on me, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
All right, let me get the book. And actually, yesterday, my aunts have pre-ordered it, and they only have like 2 there at Peach and Palette.
Yeah.
And she was able to get one, and then everybody, whenever I walked in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Dalton!"
Oh, you're a celebrity.
And then she had me sign her copy already. So
good. I'm gonna have to get you to sign a copy for me.
I will. Okay, so I'm legally blind. I also have brain damage, epilepsy, and cerebral palsy. But I adapt. My mom raised me to turn negatives into positives, not let my disabilities define me. My senior quote in high school in Hueytown, Alabama was, "Everyone has a disability. You just can't always see it." High school was a challenge. It was hard to fit in. I made some friends, but many saw me for my disabilities. Some called me names or worse. On my first day at a new middle school, a boy stuck his foot out as I walked by. I didn't see it and fell. Everyone got a laugh, but I was hurt by it. I learned I learned that if someone has a problem with me, put it on the back burner. Keep moving forward. That's not always easy. I have been working at the AMC Theater in Daphne for 10 years. It's my first and only job, and I love it. My name tag says my favorite movie is The Land Before Time. I greet guests at the as they enter the theater and scan their tickets. Our slogan is "We make movies happen." Making people smile is my job. I live with my mom and younger brother who take me to work and where I need to go. I went I want to be more independent, but public transportation in Baldwin County doesn't run during nights or weekends. Uber costs $23 for a one-way ride to work. I wanted to do something positive to keep people engaged with COVID when COVID started. Puzzles are my passion, so I created a Facebook group for uh, puzzles, word puzzles, trivia questions, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. I have monthly drawings with prizes. Usually, small gift cards to Starbucks or the movie theater. What started as a small idea 2 years ago grew into something more. I lost my dad in 2020 to kidney cancer. 2 weeks later, my stepdad to a heart attack. And the next year, my best friend to COVID 19. Some days I want to just lie in bed, but life is about getting up and doing something. Going for a walk, calling a friend, doing TikToks. I do TikTok videos for disability awareness. Those with limitations should be treated with respect, just every just like everyone else. We have the same dreams: working, getting married, being independent, creating videos of encouraging encouragement is also therapy for me. My advice: if there's something that you want to do, don't let anything get in your way. Just push forward, love others, but especially love yourself.
Wow.
And I really, I really appreciate um, you being a part of all this to at least help me get my story out. I don't know if how many times I've said that, but I really appreciate it.
Dalton, you have inspired so many people. I've even had people tell me, really, you started the book off with a cry? Like, I'll read your story. And like, we started crying from the first story. I said, yes, yes. Um, as my son went with me to interview you. And I wanted that in purpose. Like, we all have lessons to learn from you about getting out of bed and how we approach a day. And you show us how to do it. And so that's one of the reasons I took my son on that interview, because I wanted him to learn from you too. So,
I appreciate that.
yeah. Uh,
Um, so if there's anyone watching, it looks like we probably have one person.
Woo!
If you have a question for me or Lynn, please feel free to put it in the chat. I can see the chat. Preferably go to the live chat, not the comments, because right now I'm looking at the live chat and it could be overlooked. If you have a question for me, you can put Q and then the letter D. Or if you have a question for Miss Lynn, you can put Q and the letter L. And we would be happy to answer your questions. A few things to note for my, oh, now we got two people, cool. A few things to note, if anyone has any questions, please do it in the live chat, not the main comments area. And if you please be respectful, that's the one thing that I'm going to ask.
I have a question for you, Dalton.
Sure.
Do you still do the group? Do you still have that games group?
I do. If I'm able to, I'll do something, or I'll have one of my friends do it.
Yeah.
If I'm like on a date or something like that.
Gotcha.
Monday through Thursday.
Gotcha. So, what has been your favorite movie of the past year?
Honestly, it's been a while since I've. Well, actually, no. The new Beetlejuice. I went to go see that one.
Yeah.
Recently, with Emily, who is on my profile picture. Both, and we both enjoyed it. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was better than the first one.
Really? Mm.
That's just me though.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on the first one, so but we watched them both. Yeah, close by.
I've seen them both. The first one actually made me more sick than the second one did.
All right. So what else have you seen? We saw. Trying to think what we saw in the movie theater. We saw Twister this summer.
Yeah, I've heard that was supposed to be good. I haven't been able to watch that one. There's one that I've been watching that's like on Netflix. That's like a oh, someone left us a comment. Hi, Nikki. Oh, and Gianni wants to know how often do I do these interviews? I do Gianni, or whenever I am able. Which reminds me, I'm going to do a quick self plug. If you guys want to be a part of an interview, you can email me at disabilitydays4107@yahoo.com and just let me know what you would like to just give me some contact information, or if you have my contact number. Gianni, I know you do, so if you'd like to be a part of a future interview, feel free to let me know.
Do you enjoy doing this, Dalton? Do you like doing the interviews and the content?
Do. Nikki says, my friend Nikki Wunderlich says, hi, how are you both? I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hope you're both doing well. I am doing good. That's great, Nikki. Um, Preferably either. Okay, Gianni says, do you require any specific equipment to be used? I have headset microphone that I do enjoy using. However, it sometimes does loop my screen reader. You don't have to do the um, sorry, Miss Lynn. You don't have to do the headphones. You can just do it without the headphones. Like, as you can tell, um, Lynn does not have any headphones in. I don't think she's wearing her AirPods anyway, so it's not necessary. Just you can either use like an iPad or a computer. I wouldn't recommend using.
Here you go.
Sorry, that's my echo going off. I wouldn't recommend using a mobile phone. I would want for a good interview. I want something like an iPad or, like I said, an iPad or a computer. That way, we'd be able to. I would be able to see the you and me. Because if you use an iPhone or like a phone, everything gets really shaky.
I've got to let this cat back in.
All right. And she's going to be right back, and we will continue with the interview.
Sorry.
Cats at the back door.
And let's see. If anyone has any questions for Miss Lynn, feel free to drop those in. I'm looking at the right spot now, it looks like. But I'm going to go back to the other questions I have for you, and then we'll see if anybody else has any. And this is going to probably be a repetitive of what we were referring to earlier, but we have new people coming in. What is your writing process like?
So, finding an interview, I either walk up to a stranger that I see anywhere, or sometimes people tell me about, like, was it your brother, I think, that told me about you, Dalton?
Yeah, I believe it was my brother who nominated me.
Yeah, your brother sent me. I do a series about the Weavers every year and people who stitch together society. And I think so I'm doing it right now, but I think he sent you in for that a couple of years ago. And so go do the interview. I do it all on a cell phone, and we talk, and I record it and take a picture, and then I come back and transcribe it and write it, and I send a rough draft to everybody so they see what their story is and they know what's going on, and then put it up. What's it like from your end? Is it hard?
Are you referring to like the interviews?
Yeah, when I interview you, what's it like being in the hot seat?
For my interviews, it does get kind of challenging because I have to try to find someone who is interested in being interviewed. And there is like age restrictions. Like I try not to go. They have to be at least 17. I don't go any younger than that.
Yeah.
Unless like a parent wants to be a part of it, then I'm happy to oblige that. But as far as the lives go, there's two ways I do it. I do them either pre-recorded through Skype, and then upload it that way, or I will do a live through StreamYard like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And with the uploads, sometimes they take time to turn around. Like whenever the stream's over, it'll take a bit for it to get back up onto the channel because of all the uploading and processing that has to be taken care of. But it is pretty fun once I can get someone interviewed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Gianni, you don't have to use the headset. And there's my friend Marianne. Hi, Marianne. If you have any questions for Miss Lim, feel free to drop those in. And this kind of goes back to loops back a little bit. What is your next project? If you have any next projects that you're willing to share.
Sure. So one of the interviews today, working on a project for Mobile Bay Magazine, interviewing people who were in the Vietnam War and giving different perspectives for that. I think next year I'm going to dedicate it to interviewing people who are 80 and above. It's really important to me to find these stories that haven't been told or save them before they all disappear. And so I'm going to focus a lot more on like saving a lot of the stories and like a lot of our history. And I love doing people that are 80 and above. And my favorite is the people who grew up without water or electricity and what they've been through in their lives and how their world's changed. So there's always something. I've got lanyard stories coming up in Alabama Public Radio, and I've got whiteboards covered with our Southern Souls ideas. So.
And I have another question that I'm going to bring up on the screen for you.
Okay.
This is from Marianne. She wants to know where can we purchase the new book?
So if you can get it at Page and Palette in Fairhope or at the Haunted Bookshop or Do Good's Mercantile or Ashland Gallery in Mobile. And you can also order it online with Buy Our Southern Soul. Yeah, buyoursouthernSouls.com. And then, or you can just go to the website and there's a buy link there. But we're doing free shipping on the book through Christmas. It's like a thank you to people who want it.
Well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
How has your writing evolved over time?
Hopefully it's gotten better. I'm trying to learn to leave out, not include everything in the story and keep things, shorten them up a little bit. Trying to get better about the voice coming through. I'm better on the storytelling arc. There's always ways to get better. I will never feel like I'm good at this. But the people in the books are amazing. It's that part is fantastic, and it's just telling their story better.
And who are some of your literary influences? I
got to take a writing class from Rick Bragg, and it's one of those things of like, he's so good. I can never come close to what he does. And it also makes you want to just want to quit and not even try. But he taught a lesson about always going to where people are and not doing interviews over phones, but going to says all the details and like seeing you in your work environment, in your happy place. Eudora Welty, I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Yazoo City, Mississippi. So Willie Morris, it's his hometown. Eudora Welty, we have the same birthday, and my grandmother grew up with her. I'm from Mississippi, so like it's just you just grow up on all these great writers and who you aspire to be. Wright Thompson, his book, The Barn, right now, but anything Wright writes. I love reading, and I love reading good writers and constantly trying to read. So, yeah, all of it, all of them.
And for me, as far as my,
how about you? Who do you read, or how do you do books on tape, or how do you do it?
I do listen to books on
Or Audible,
yeah. Well, it's not really Audible. I have a player. It's like a digital player, real big, so I can't really pick it up right. Well,
right.
1 second. I apologize.
We lost you, Dalton.
Yeah, I'm still here. I use it's a player. It's a digital book player.
Oh wow!
It's for
you
people.
You can enter any book, pull up any book on there.
Well, they come in little cartridges like this,
and
there's like usually there's like 20 or so books on the cartridge.
Wow.
And I get them through the Alabama Library for the Blind. And I just stick it in and hit a button, and it'll turn the data from the cartridge into audio. And as far as the part about me getting a channel, I'm sure she's still watching, but I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Nikki Wunderlich, who also has a channel. Her channel actually inspired me to start doing this, along with all the craziness with TikTok. I still kind of go on TikTok, but I don't post much there. I'm mainly on YouTube.
Yeah.
But whenever TikTok started going nuts, I thought, I don't mind doing short form videos, but it would be good to at least be able to get more information out there than like a 60-second clip, because you can't really say much in 60 seconds unless you break them down into a bunch of different videos, and who wants to do that?
No, I don't.
It's gonna confuse people whenever they're watching it.
Yeah. I don't do much on TikTok. Can't tell you the last time I was on there. I'm getting old.
And what advice would you give to aspiring writers?
I say again, you just froze up. What advice would I give to
aspiring writers?
Aspiring writers. There's lots of ways to write. I grew up thinking that all writing was creative writing, and you had to be this great Rick Bragg kind of writer or Eudora Welty, but it's not. There's multiple ways to do it. You kind of have to find the one that's right for you. Mine is going out in the field and reporting and finding stories in real life that are rich. And so if the better stories and reporting I do, the less of the creative writing. So there's just a lot of ways to do it, and it's going to take a while. And everybody says that your first rough draft sucks, and it's true, and it will always be true. And I think you have to give yourself grace until by draft number 5, it starts kind of coming together. But it's as hard as you think it is, and as rewarding as you think it is, and is worth it. But it's a lot of work. Do you write, Dalton?
I don't write. I probably could type something, but my handwriting pretty much the only thing I can do is my signature. everything, ev- everything else will look like chicken scratch.
Well, I know that you find ways to do everything you want to do, so I didn't know if you'd figured out a way to do that too.
Yeah, like as far as handwriting, not really, but mostly it'll be like just typing.
Yeah.
And now the floor is still open for any of my viewers. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in to either myself or Miss Lynn, and we will be happy to answer them. Is there anything that you'd like to say to anybody out there who is watching this, probably either now or in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's so the book is beautiful and wonderful, and in my what I think heaven looks like, because there's just so much of this diversity and what real life and real humans are. And the news makes me crazy, and there's so much that makes me crazy, but in the real world, that's where the people are. And like today, I've gotten to interview a couple of amazing people and doing great work. And there will never be a shortage of stories. I will never catch up. But every story I do is like the best story I'll ever get to do. But yeah, and it's getting to keep up with you, Dalton, and see what you continue to do, and you just continue to figure out and find your way in the world and how to communicate and how to connect. And yeah, I think that's, I mean, I got teary you reading your story and talking about how hard it was to read. I mean, and I've never had listened to anybody read their own story, which was beautiful, but it just shows what you keep overcoming.
Thank you. We have another comment, and I'll let you read this one. It's from Nikki. I'm going to put it up on the screen here.
Thank you for showing up my YouTube. What's the name of a couple of your books? So the books are Our Southern Souls Volume 1 and Our Southern Souls Volume 2. Very original.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm so creative there. It's like 160 stories, and it's just from everywhere, and it's yeah. So Dalton, how many days a week are you working?
Right now it's usually it varies. Usually it's like 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm. What else do you do for your time? What else are you doing for fun?
I try to go out either with my girlfriend or just try to go out on Thursdays if they have like a market in Fairhope.
Yeah. Did you have this girlfriend when we talked?
I had, well, we were high school sweethearts. We kind of, things went kind of fast for me because I ended up moving away.
Yeah.
To Birmingham.
Yeah.
And things kind of ended abruptly.
Yeah.
I had to start from square one with another girl.
Yeah.
And we were together for a couple of years. And I'm not going to go into much detail, but things didn't work out with that other relationship. So
right.
I'm back with my high school sweetheart.
Oh, and her name is Emily.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily, if you're watching.
Take care of Dalton.
And Nikki says, Thank you, and I wish you success.
Thank you, Nikki. You too.
Oh, Marianne also says, so happy you found Dalton. He is such an inspiration.
I know. He is. It's
Thank
well, I
you,
mean,
Marianne.
hearing about you going into Page and Palette and how happy, went and took books to the employees today, and I heard about you and how happy they were to see you.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't really go anywhere. I'm pretty much a celebrity.
I know.
Local
It's such
celebrity.
you can't hide.
I can't even go anywhere in my own shopping center. The shopping
Really,
center where I work.
everybody knows you. So, are they nice? I mean, they have to come up and I mean,
They are nice.
yeah, that's super sweet that you're
But
loved. You know,
it makes me feel really good.
no kidding. And the people be kind to you, and especially when they weren't so nice to you in high school.
Exactly.
Things change. People
Now,
grow.
occasionally I'll have to deal with that disgruntled guest at work, but
It's everywhere.
it's
We all have our critics.
pretty much contagious.
Yeah, we all have our critics.
Marianne says he is so loved.
Aw, he is. That's why we had to put you as the first story. Happens with you.
And I really appreciate that too.
Yeah. Your bright, shining face right there. Was it hard doing the interview that day? Or was it weird? Or what was it like on your end when we interviewed you?
It was honestly, I really much enjoyed the interview. Just being able to get my story out there where other people can read it and know that even though I have a disability, that like I said, I'm a person too.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna shift gears. One thing that really gets me, and I probably have mentioned it quite a few times, probably not on this channel, but what really gets me is like here we are, a great nation with the Alabama ADA, but if I was going to get married, it's like everything goes to poop, pretty much.
Really?
I mean, if I tried to marry, both me and the person I'm marrying lose our SSI.
Really?
Yeah, which kind of stinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's been around like even before.
It forced you to choose between benefits or love or marriage, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh.
And then they're like, "Oh well, if you get married, well, we're gonna take this much out of your SSI," which doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, no. No. Um,
Which is just insane.
yeah. All right.
Well, I'm gonna wait. We need to do something else like this sometime. I really enjoyed it. I'll have to tell you that.
Yeah, me too. It's neat keeping up and finding out how people do after the story, and because life doesn't end after we part ways.
Exactly.
Catch up and like see what happens next.
Exactly. Because who knows, an interview can end up into a friendship, which that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it happens. I've been extremely lucky. I mean, I've made some great friends through this, and mean, the whole thing has changed my life. Every story, every person makes me a better person, and then end up with friendships and certainly learning from you. And yeah, it's I'm the luckiest person on the planet that I get to do this.
Well, I appreciate it. Do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask me?
So what's next for you? What's on your to-do list and your bucket list? What's next?
Quite a few things down the road, but as far as like long, like short term, for like coming up soon, tomorrow I have to go to work. That's another reason why I wanted to do the interview today, because the rest of the weekend usually it gets crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to do I do weekly lives on my YouTube every Friday if I'm not working.
Yeah. She working tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning. And Marianne says thank you to you both. And you're so welcome, Marianne.
Thanks, Marianne.
We're glad that you were able to be a part of our little show this evening.
A little conversation.
But yeah, mostly just working, having to see what all craziness happens. I love the job, but sometimes it does get a little silly.
You worked there for 12 years? Because you were
12
10
years, yeah.
You say you were 10 when I interviewed you, yeah. So
yeah.
12. That's pretty long. It's a good run.
Seen quite a lot of interesting stuff.
Oh, sure. More to come. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you wanting me to be on your channel and do this.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to end it here. Do you have anything that you'd like to say before we head off?
No, just the book is filled with wonderful people like Dalton, and all the proceeds from the book go to the Magnolia Breeze Youth Ensemble. It's a therapeutic band that includes people with all abilities, disabilities. They do a lot of Mardi Gras parades and things in Mobile, and I love this little band. So, not little band, it's a wonderful band, and so all the proceeds from the book goes to that.
Yeah, Marianne wants to mention the puzzle. I do it pretty much every day except Wednesdays when she doesn't, because Wednesdays I'm usually watching church streams.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's a good reason not to have it. So.
Yeah, I'm blessed to have her covering me on that day.
Yeah.
Every weekday except for Wednesdays and Fridays.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're still doing that.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate you again, Miss Lynn, for joining me.
I will see you at the book signing on December the 8th at Haunted Bookshop.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions on the replay of this, feel free to drop them in the comments area. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up early because it looks like we're starting to slow down. Everyone has a disability. You just can't always see it. And I will have more regular videos coming up. I don't like doing short form, so it'll be mostly long form. Hope everyone enjoys them. They're down the pipe, more interviews too. But until then, we'll see you around. Peace.
Thanks, Dalton.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.